Welcome to Story Studio, a program put on by the Parkland Chamber of Commerce in Treaty 2, and where we look at trying to find out why Parkland. Or better yet, for 30 minutes or so, we're going to highlight some success stories, as well as look at some of the work that goes into making the Parkland so amazing. So I'm Stephen Chakota. I'm the Executive Director for the Parkland Chamber of Commerce, and I'm joined here by Kayla and by Roxane. So thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
We're going to kick things off really easily just with who you are and kind of what you do, what kind of story you want to tell. Kayla, let's go with you. You're in the hot seat first.
All right. So my name is Kayla Luky, and I am the owner of Old September in Gilbert Plains. We are a coffee and cocktail bar, floral design studio. We are a merchandiser, and we're known for hosting workshops. So we do a little bit of everything. And we opened in August of 2019, officially in Gilbert. Before that, I was doing the floral design part and workshops from my house. I was on maternity leave with my second child, and I thought I did a crazy project in my first maternity leave, and I thought, well, I need to do something crazy in my second maternity leave just to make sure my kids are equally screwed up. And so that's what I chose to do, and it kind of expanded and it wasn't manageable anymore in the back porch of our house, and I'm sure my better half would have left me if we did another Christmas in the house doing floral stuff. And the opportunity came to start up shop in Gilbert Plains. And so a good friend of mine was looking for studio space, and she didn't want to be there alone. So they purchased the building, and it was completely renovated, and that's where we are now.
Amazing.
Wow.
A big journey.
Yes.
To take on.
Yeah.
So interesting, going from probably pretty different dynamic, going from a home base to, owning and, operating a storefront kind of business.
Yeah, the opportunity was too good to say no to, because at that point I wasn't sure if I was going to go back to my regular job or not. And so I thought, well, even if I go back to my regular job, I can still do this on the side in this space that isn't our house. But as we were ready to open, and as we were open for a few months, it was very apparent to me that I did not want to go back to my regular 9 to 5. And I guess the entrepreneurial bug got me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Your story, Roxane.
I'm Dr. Roxane Plett. I'm a veterinarian and practice owner with the Dauphin in the Ste Rose Vet Clinic, and love to be part of this community. I love to some of the areas that I'm involved in is with the Parkland Paddling Club here in town, as well as with my church group here. And right now, because of all of the vet shortages across the country, there's not a whole lot that happens outside of work. And so just trying to provide the best service that we can for all of our clients, whether that is, large animal or small animal, we take care of them all.
So you say vet shortage across the nation, like that's hitting here, like you're understaffed kind of in a way, like that's what you're getting at here, or there's like the network as well, like you're finding that there's challenges with that as territory.
Yeah, there's far more job openings across the country, and actually it's a global issue. It's not just Canada, even it's in all of North America. It's other countries of the world as well. Just don't have enough veterinarians available to do the service that we need for as many animals that there are.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so we're now down to 2.5 veterinarians between two practices. So the on-call, and we are still trying to provide the best service that we can. So that means we're on call 50% of the time right now.
Wow.
So outside of work, we still find time to volunteer. Both my business partner and I both like to be involved in the community as much as we can, and also balance that with work and home and everything else.
There's so much on the go there.
Yeah.
So maybe a bunch of reasons as to why the shortage or the demand, like more pets, or the operations for farms getting that much more vast, and then the people aren't coming into the industry as quickly to support that growth? Or is it the kind of opposite? Is it more people aren't getting into the roles as veterinarians and getting those specialties?
Yeah, lots of factors involved.
Yeah.
And these last 3 years have not been kind for a lot of professions. So there's a lot that have shortages right now.
Mm-hmm.
So there's more people have gotten pets through COVID, and people are requiring a more and more specialized care. And that increases the pressures, the stresses that are on the team. So you're seeing more people retiring, or more people cutting down their hours and not working as much maybe, and or just getting out entirely and not continuing. So we're very thankful the Manitoba government has increased the number of seats that they're going to be supporting for this next school year, I believe, which is going to be a help.
Good.
Which will be,
Yeah. Hopefully see some changes there quickly in a way. How long's the program? Just curious.
Okay, so once you're in veterinary school,
Yeah.
then it's a 4-year program.
Yeah. Okay.
In order to get in, there's a minimum 2-year pre-vet program, and some will take 3 or 4 years to do that.
Yeah.
So
It's
the
a big
minimum
investment.
6 years
Yeah.
university.
Yeah. That's a lot to get through.
Yeah.
But hopefully that helps. It's a
That would be
short
good.
window. Yeah. Yourself, Kayla. So you've had that storefront for just a short little while, kind of thing, but probably feels like forever in a way. But a fun opportunity and challenge. Like you kind of come in there and things, it's there's that welcoming kind of, you recognize it, but you always got some things that are changing and different products and stuff. Like what's some cool opportunities and challenges that you have going on at the store there?
Yeah, so Gilbert hadn't had a florist in probably 20 years before I opened there. And then after 6 months into being a new business, COVID hit, and we have 3 young kids and daycares were closed. So I think I was at home with them for probably 6 or 8 weeks just before Mother's Day. And like all businesses and everybody, I had to figure out what I could and couldn't do and how to be creative in the way that you market yourself as an essential service when we were all navigating that. I'll just call it that.
Yeah.
And then, so now that I guess we're going into year 4 or 5 or whatever, one of the things that I've noticed, and I'm sure COVID had a lot to do with it too, is how you have to just always be, especially in what I'm doing, always be thinking of like, how do I make not myself, but the business relevant, and something that people want and need. And a lot of that too, I think I often think about, I want to feel good about what I'm doing, in the sense of I don't want to just have a bunch of stuff that people can buy, because I understand what I do isn't essential, in the sense of like a life or death, immediate life or death sort of thing. So when I am thinking about the store, I'm trying to make sure I'm bringing in merchandise that I can stand behind, that I believe in, that are supporting more local makers, and it might be and stuff that people can consume and consciously buy, and not just like buying stuff just for the sake of buying stuff, because that doesn't really resonate with me either. So yeah, it's always there's always something to be thinking about, and I also feel like I'm getting to the point where I'm not really new anymore. So yeah, you just have to keep plugging away.
Do you get to use a lot of local suppliers? Or what?
Yes and no. So when it comes to, say, makers in the area, for instance, I utilize Trocadero with their food coming from a commercial kitchen. But because my retail, the size of my retail area is so small, I can't necessarily take people on for consignment, because it doesn't feed my family when I'm selling for somebody else. So it's kind of a balance of things. Yeah. And I'm trying to think. Yeah, I use a roaster from Regina because they were just my favorite roaster of all the different ones that I tried. And yeah, there's like different food products and stuff that come from Manitoba or Canada. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a mixture of things.
Maybe a little bit of a selfish plug for you here, but like I'm curious whether it's from that you've had a direct relation to, or if it's maybe just overall things that you've seen change in your time at Gilbert Plains since you've opened. Like, have you seen anything pop up for you?
Ooh. Well, I think like I grew up on a farm outside of Gilbert Plains. And I went to school in Gilbert Plains, and I left for a couple years to go to school in Winnipeg, and that wasn't really my thing. And I stayed another year to work, and I thought I can make minimum wage at home and be a lot more happy. And so that's kind of what brought me back to this area. And I thought, yeah, I like the open space and less concrete. And so I ended up buying a home here, and I had no reason to leave. But all that to say, being in Gilbert Plains as an adult and not just an angsty teen with the business has really made me see how much opportunity there is there, especially in the tourism sector with the golf course being there, and the campground gets utilized very well. And now we have the splash park down there, and then seeing how many people come through with hockey and other minor sports. So even though I haven't necessarily seen things crop up directly in our community because of, what I'm doing, I just see opportunity, the opportunity that it has.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Interesting. And any opportunities from your realm? Like you're traveling a lot between, different communities, particularly Dauphin and Ste Rose. Like what are things that you're noticing out on the road?
There's been opportunities for new producers to come in the area. So as some are retiring or selling out, there's been an influx of cattle producers from other areas that have picked up ranches and stuff like that. So we are seeing new people coming into the area, which that's kind of exciting.
Yeah. So yeah, turnover, expansions of maybe some operations that are out there.
And at least not seeing a loss, right? Like if some are retiring, at least there's other ones that are coming in to continue on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, that's excellent. Yeah, you would not want to see things just dissipate and disappear. So excellent.
Yeah.
And then outside of the I don't want to say 9 to 5 because like you guys are you got entrepreneurs and you've got on calls and everything like that, but like outside of that it could be a little challenging obviously to find those moments that volunteering or committing time to places that make you happy or whatever, but like where are you finding that balance and where are you devoting some of those hours to?
This is such a fantastic community to be part of for that, and I love being in a rural setting, and with the proximity of all the parks and lakes and everything else, I love it. So being part of the Parkland Paddling Club has been fantastic for me. It was in I think it was started up, I don't know, probably about 15 years ago, I think the club started up. And that has been kind of my favorite thing in the winter months because we're teaching kayaking classes in the pool. So we're making use of the rec center, the pool, and getting other people into boats, teaching them skills and just having a great time. And it's a fantastic way to start the week. Yeah. And then to be able to put that into practice during the summer and being able to get out into the park, out to Moon Lake. That's my favorite place. I almost feel like I should change the name to that it's my lake, but
nice. Yeah. And then so that time's probably coming up right away with spring melt and summer coming. So
we've just finished up our adult intro to kayaking class in the pool. So hopefully with the lakes opening up in the next couple of months, we'll be back on the water again.
Yeah. Are you one to do the rivers and stuff that are flowing once they get there, or leave that to some other individuals out here?
I leave that to some other individuals around here. I prefer the nice. I actually, my favorite place is Moon Lake, and I get out there quite often during the summer, and I get to see moose quite often when I'm out there as well, and bears and eagles and
That's right.
swans, and I get to see a lot of wildlife out there. And that's started up my new hobby where my camera is in hand.
I was just
Every
gonna
time
ask
I
about
go.
that. Yeah, started noticing a lot of pictures in the fall that you were posting, and you got some amazing moments out there.
I probably saw 16 moose last summer.
Wow.
Being out on the water, which is amazing. Yeah, my favorite.
Yeah, lots of moose. You've got some loon pictures.
Yep.
Yeah.
Eagles. Swans,
Eagles. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Pelicans.
All the good stuff. Yeah, and all Moon Lake. What is that? Like 15 minutes from Dauphin?
From here, 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
So
that.
from my garage, I hook up my trailer, and within 30 minutes, I'm at Moon Lake.
Yeah.
And can be on the water 5 minutes after that. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. So even when I'm on call, I'll still go out there. I may go for early morning, go for sunrise, or people are less likely to need me at sunrise. Most people are still sleeping, which is great. So I can go out and have uninterrupted time. And that's also my stress break, or just kind of that, for mental health, just to be able to get out there. Because my job is stressful, and it's nice to be able to just get out and have that peace and quiet and calm, and then come back and head back to the clinic.
Back to business. Yeah.
And it's great because there's good cell service on Moon Lake. So
Good.
if people need to reach me, I can still be out there and be on call with no problems.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fairly easily access resource that we have out here. That's not that far. Yeah.
I would say I am in a season of life where I do not have a work-life balance at all. I have 3 kids, aged 15 months, almost 5 years old, and we'll say almost 7. And so, between working and trying to do that and then taking kids where they need to go, we don't do a lot. But someday, maybe we will.
Maybe eventually. Yeah.
But at the same time, I also think that I enjoy my day-to-day life enough that I don't feel the need to necessarily escape all the time. So, around our own house, we love to be outside. So, we often go up to the Duck Mountains if we can. Or we have an outdoor oven that we like to cook in.
Oh, nice.
I like to stress cook sometimes, so I'll just spend a day cooking because I don't know what else to do.
Is that accessible year round, or is that just more of a summer?
We have used it in the winter before, but it's easier to use in the summer. And just enjoying time with our kids because those young years go by so fast that.
Yeah, they do. And by the time, before you know it, they're teenagers and they don't necessarily want to come with their mom anymore. I've got 2 daughters who are 16 and 18, and they don't always want to come with me anymore.
Yeah, so I'm just enjoying time with them as much as I can.
Yeah. Are they helping out at the shop?
They do come once in a while. Forrest really likes to count the money, and Mavis she's very artistic. She likes to do all kinds of things, and Edda's at the stage where she just can't exactly be there because she touches everything and rips everything apart at home and at the shop. But that's fun too.
You're talking about we've got Riding Mountain here on one side, we've got Doug Mountains on the other. Those little things here and there to experience life and finding that work opportunities out here, but making roots, you guys you've been here for some time, you've come and gone, and everything, how are you finding that day-to-day life and the resources that are kind of available in the area?
For me, that was a huge draw because I didn't grow up here. I grew up in southeastern Manitoba and then was working in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan for 3 years, and the huge draw for me to come here was the parks and the hiking, camping, fishing opportunities that were out here. And that's definitely a huge draw for me still to stay because we have such beautiful places to visit. And then now with Northgate as well, that's another huge addition I think is really, really good for the Parkland. to draw lots of people in as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and seems to be doing that already with
Yeah.
very minimal kind of promoting that they've done. Just that word of mouth and people utilizing it seems. Yeah.
And I think the
It's taken
cabins there are getting rented out fairly commonly as well, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's great to get people out and just, for one, being outside and, getting exercise and enjoying nature. And it's all a lot of good reasons to get out there.
Yeah. And on your side, Kayla, how are you utilizing like a regional approach or at all? Like, I guess in a sense you are using some Trocadero products. But is there anything else that you're working with or?
I know. Well, speaking of Northgate, so last fall, I am known for, even before I started this up, I always loved picking things from nature and the ditch and whatever. So I would do, the last couple years I've done a foraged wreath workshop from just stuff out of the ditch. And we ended up doing a workshop at the WAC for Northgate to put up these foraged wreaths everywhere.
Nice, yeah.
So if you've been there, then you've probably seen those.
They're gorgeous. I love it. I had no idea where they came from.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes.
Mystery solved. Yeah, and there's lots of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there must have, I want to say there was like 40 people there,
Yeah.
maybe that made them, between 30 and 40. So that was kind of a neat partnership and a way to showcase a beauty in our area in a different way. Yeah. I don't know if that answered your question.
Kind of, sort of. Like, I don't know. We were just kind of going off of like,
Yeah.
maybe some projects that kind of utilize some resources from the area, which is a great addition because it adds a lot of value to Northgate. So like, I appreciate as an active user of Northgate, like that's it. You catch those wreaths every once in a while. Like either it's coming or it catches you off guard, and you kind of take a pause and look at it. But so that was a cool program, at least project that you did.
Yeah, it was fun.
Anything else like that in the works, or have you tabled anything? Or
Well, one thing I'm also I've always loved pumpkins, and so every fall I grow like a obscene amount, too many, and I have those at the shop too. And I've always dreamt of kind of doing more with that side of things because I've always been crazy about Halloween and about pumpkins. And so, anyways, I can't say I have officially put any of my dreams in motion on that side of things, but that's always something that I do, or that I have been doing every year in the shop. And yeah, we also, when we host our workshops, we ask people of all different, whatever it is that they might do. So for instance, Holly Bryson does watercolor. Amy Ray Maker does watercolor. 5'1" Perspective does sign making. Heather Huska does sign making. My kind of partner in crime at the shop, Sarah, she does literally everything, but she's done a lot of needle felting workshops. I'm trying to think of who else. Ingrid did macrame. I do floral arranging or doing wreaths. So we're always looking for different artists, I guess, to share their craft and to do the workshops.
Outside of the Parkland, like quite a bit of a stretch, but like you've had leather work classes come in and stuff too. Like
we've had Earth and Hide come in, and that was scheduled, I think, around when everything was falling apart with COVID. And then he finally came last fall and did that. And there's another maker that I've reached out to from outside of the Parkland to come and do a workshop. Oh, my friend Anna Fick did different wheat workshops and Easter egg writing. And we've kind of been dreaming up some different things with that, of having a kind of folk arts camp here that, does a whole bunch of different things. But I probably shouldn't talk about it because it's not like an official thing at all. So
how often are you holding the workshops?
We usually do workshops every Wednesday. And then we usually take a break during the summer because people are busy with camping and whatnot. But it was one of the the main pillars that we kind of started Old September on. And the other unique thing about it is that we have a recreational liquor license, whereas the recreation is crafting. So as long as crafting is made available, people can stop in for beer or wine or cocktail. We do have some in-house favorites. If you feel like knitting and drinking at 9 a.m., we can legally do that. And so, yeah, that's kind of unique because I think we're the only place in Manitoba that has that type of license. There was another one, but COVID got them.
That's amazing. Okay,
Yeah,
never
that's
heard about
interesting,
that
yeah.
one before. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So
And yeah, you don't know that there's anybody else out there that has something like that?
well, when I was going through the licensing process, I had asked the fellow that I was working with, and there was one in the city who that had the same license. But yeah, COVID just wasn't kind to them, and they ended up closing their doors. So as far as I know, we're the only other one, but I haven't.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Have a beer and do the morning crosswords or something like that, right?
Yeah. I mean, I can't be the judge of what you think art is, or crafting is, I should say.
Yeah. But you have a safe space in order in which to do it.
Yes.
So, amazing.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. What a unique opportunity that we have in the Parkland.
I know.
And right in Gilbert Plains. That's amazing.
Thanks.
Hype that up a little bit more often. What time does the store open? When do you open the doors in the morning?
Like, when is this open?
Officially, we open at 9:30, but I mean, I think the license says 9 to. It would be the same as, say, a Legion or whatever, or. Yeah, I can't even remember what it says on there.
Not to I guess make it seem like, oh man, I got to get over to the shop to start drinking at 8 in the morning.
Well,
and
No,
do
you want us to
something,
take up a craft.
But yeah, or
We're gonna see
coffee and Baileys and start
knitting
take
and
up a
drinking a
craft.
beer.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I know it is unique, but I also don't want people to feel like, that's all we do is
Right.
like liquor all the time.
Yeah.
So I try to be sensitive about that.
But it just another layer that makes you so diverse and unique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of spawned into some other opportunities where we've been bartending at people's private functions and whatnot, so that we can serve craft cocktails and do that, or offer another service for them from parties and weddings, which kind of goes hand in hand with the floral aspect of it. And Andrea, my employee, can legally, or she's, I don't know what they're called, like when you marry people. She's a ordained. No, she's not ordained.
Justice.
Yeah, she's like, I don't think she's JP either. She's like a commissioner of oaths. Is that something? I don't know. She's got some kind of paper that she can marry people.
A different show altogether to figure that one out.
I don't know. But she can marry people. And so, yeah, we're going to have a package deal of we can get you married, get you your flowers, and get you some booze.
Just pull right up to the store.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come right up to the shop. Yeah, you can have this dedicated parking space.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. You can get hitched right here.
Yeah. We got to workshop that idea a bit more yet.
You can have your beverages and craft the cans.
Yeah.
The fill for the vehicle.
Oh boy.
Fun. That's cool. Okay. Well, anything else that we want to kind of cover? Do you want to any final thoughts that you want to kind of go over? Or what's happening? At the vet clinic. Anything big, new, and exciting?
Yeah, I just try and retain as many people in the Parkland as I can. So if we ever have students that come through that are from the area and are doing their training or practicums with us, I just hire them to keep them, try to retain as many healthcare. I've got two vet techs that I've hired now that they didn't really have a job opening when they came, but it's like, we're gonna snap you up, we'll keep you here, and so. There was something when we were talking about the advantages of a smaller rural setting or community, and I love living here for a big reason is that all of the professions know each other as well, and they know you, and it's a personal touch, and so you can have your financial planner and your accountant and your lawyer and everyone else working together for you, and they can also communicate with each other on behalf of you, as opposed to being in the city where everything is very separate and they might not know each other, and instead you can have everyone working together. So it'd be great just to, keep
makes
promoting
things
our
easier,
community.
right? And
So much
like
easier.
and
Yeah.
time efficient. All those things.
Totally.
Yeah.
I love it. All I have to do is send an email to to all of the professions, and and then they can work on whatever they can do the solutions for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Kayla, anything else? Any final thoughts or
Final
big things that you want to
thoughts.
cover?
I don't know. I think I covered it all, but yeah, the Parkland is a great place to raise a family. We were kind of talking about this outside, but it was, anyways, an affordable place to start up in, and I feel safe in the community I'm in, and I love that my kids can run around in the dirt and not have concrete buildings, not have to play in the shadows of those. And I think that is important for everybody internally, to get outside and be nice to one another.
Nice.
People are nice here.
Yeah, exactly. Well put. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today and being part of this conversation and our Take Out Story Studio. And thanks to the team at Grow Media for capturing all the moments. All right. Well, until next time.